What's going on, my nail friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Rosie, and you have reached Mary Rosie Dips. In today's video, I am actually doing a voiceover on a film on some jelly tips. I want to say these are my mother-in-law's nails. I think. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to fully remove her jelly tips, but they had really good retention, and this was the first time she's ever had jelly tips. Her natural nails are actually typically as long as these jelly tips are right now, actually even a little bit longer, but she broke, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them over the last couple of months. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try some jelly tips on you. If you like it, you like it. If you hate it, we'll just soak them off and I'll just do dip on you again. She's not a huge fan of dip. She's not a huge fan of gel. She's the type of person that actually paints her own nails typically for the last, I don't know, 50 something years. She has painted her own nails, done her own designs, done all her fancy smancy, and I've only done dip on her a few times, and I think I've done Builder Gel on her a couple of times as well. They used to live out of state, and now that they live here, they've actually moved to our area. I think it was September, just this past year, so not very long. And this is only the second time that I have done her nails since she has lived here. I don't typically go and say, hey, you want me to do your nails? Because I know she doesn't particularly like dip or gel. She just likes her regular polish, and her nails are nice and strong. But recently, with all the moving and packing and unpacking and all that stuff, her nails have broken and she wanted them long. So here we are with some jelly tips, and the last time I did her nails was, I think, almost a month ago. And like I said, she had great retention, and so we are just doing a fill. I filed down most of the jelly tip, or at least the grow out anyway, and we are filling with West Coast Dips Builder Gel in the color Gwynn. Super beautiful, light, very light pink, neutral color. I usually have this color on my nails. This one and Morrigan are some of my favorites that I like to use. It's just very neutral, perfect, and doesn't change the color of any dip or gel polish that you choose to do over it. So I usually will just do the application just like if I was doing a gel polish application. It's not a full application, so I mostly just kind of brush it on because it's a fill. And what I'll do is I'll do 4 nails on one hand, just 1 layer, and then she'll cure that while I paint the other hand. And then we'll go back and do the thumb, and vice versa, do the thumb on the other hand, and so on and so forth. And here I am thinking that we are done. So I am going in with a gel base, and I was going to do the layer of gel base, cure that, and then go in with gel top coat so that we could finish, or not necessarily finish. I thought she was going to pick out a gel polish color. That's what I thought she was going to do, because that's what we had been talking about for the last 35 minutes maybe. And I go on with my gel base like a good little girl, clean it up, put that hand to cure, and then I go to do the other hand. And as I'm finishing up with the other hand, she says, "Oh, I want dip powder." What? Okay, mother-in-law. Dip powder it is. So then you will see me after I am done curing this gel base. You'll see me wipe it off, or I should say wipe the tacky layer off, because by now they're cured. So I will wipe the tacky layer off with alcohol on a lint-free wipe. And then I will have to lightly buff the nails off so that we can get good adherence of the dip powder. And then I think this video will be too long to kind of just do it all in one, so I will break up the video and do the dip powder application video separate, just because I didn't want this to be an hour-long video. But this is my basic builder gel application to typically put under gel polish. But this was a fill on top of jelly tips. I know a lot of people say don't do fills on jelly tips. I don't have an issue with that as long as you get anything that is lifting. I do plenty of jelly tips on myself and do fills on myself. I most definitely don't soak off jelly tips ever, actually. I've rarely had to do anything but do fills on jelly tips, so I choose to do the same on others because it's what works for me. Again, I am not a licensed nail tech. This is just what works for me and what works for those whose nails I do. So here I am just kind of shaping them up just a tiny little bit. And like I said, I am going to be lightly buffing them so that we can get better adherence of the dip powder. But this is what her nails look like with a fill of Gwynn from West Coast Tips on top of her jelly tips. Thank you all so much for watching. And of course, I forgot to grab a picture before we decided to start putting dip on top of these. So if you want to see the final result, follow me on my next video, or at least don't forget to subscribe so you can see the next video where she gets her dip powder application. Thanks guys, we'll see you later. Bye.